I'm author James L. Thane, and I'm here today to talk about my new novel, South of the Deuce. This is a suspense novel aimed at an adult audience, and it's the fourth book in my series featuring Phoenix homicide detective Sean Richardson. For much of the city's history, the vice in Phoenix was concentrated in an area downtown known as the Deuce. It ran along 2nd Street, generally from Van Buren in the north down to the railroad tracks in the south. Beginning in the mid-1960s, much of the Deuce was razed in the name of urban renewal, and by the late 1970s, little of the original Deuce remained. This book is set in the present day, and it opens when the body of a young woman is found wrapped in plastic and abandoned in Central Park in Phoenix, which is just south of the old Deuce. Sean Richardson is assigned to the case, and when he arrives on the scene, he's astounded to find, wrapped up with the body, the driver's license of a woman who had been killed and dumped on the same spot exactly 43 years earlier. He's further stunned to learn that the victim is the granddaughter of the woman who was originally killed and left on the spot all those years ago. The original victim was a housewife named Ellen Friedman, and she was the first of 4 women who were abducted, murdered, and then abandoned south of the Deuce. But the killer was never identified or captured. Sean now teams up with 78-year-old Jack Oliva, the retired lead detective on the original cases, in the hope of unraveling the mystery. But before their investigation can barely begin, a second young woman is murdered, mimicking the second killing of the original spree. It's apparent then that either the original killer has belatedly returned to take up where he left off, or that an ardent disciple has arrived to take over the franchise. In either event, Sean Richardson now finds himself in a desperate race against a cold, calculating, sadistic killer who seems determined to replicate all 4 of the original killings. And before the chase is over, it will come perilously close to home for Sean Richardson. One of the things that authors are most frequently asked is, where do you get your ideas? And the truth is, they can literally come from anywhere, as it is illustrated by the case of this book. Several years ago, I was at an event at the Poison Pen Central bookstore, which was in Phoenix, just south of Chase Field. It was a branch of Scottsdale's famous Poison Pen bookstore. As the event opened, the store's owner, Barbara Peters, was introducing a number of people in the audience, one of whom was John Talton, then a columnist for the Arizona Republic. In introducing John, Barbara noted that he was an authority on Phoenix neighborhoods, and then somewhat offhandedly she observed that I think the area where we are today used to be known as the Deuce. From the audience, John corrected her and said, no, the Deuce was north of here. 2 thoughts immediately popped into my mind. The first was, okay, so we're south of the Deuce. The second was that South of the Deuce would make a great title for a crime novel. I filed the idea away, and a year or so ago, when I was trying to decide what I might do for my next project, I decided to see if I could come up with a book that fit the title. The result is South of the Deuce, and I'm hugely grateful to Barbara Peters for inspiring the novel, even if inadvertently. But the lesson here is that ideas can literally come from anywhere, and a writer has to be careful not to miss an opportunity, especially when one drops into your lap, like this one did. I'm happy to say that South of the Deuce has gotten some very good advance notices. If it sounds like your cup of tea, I hope you'll look for it. It's available in bookstores, at Amazon, and at barnesandnoble.com. People who live locally in the Phoenix area can find signed copies both at the Poisoned Pen in Scottsdale and at the Changing Hands bookstore in Tempe and in Phoenix. Thanks very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.